Kansas was home. It always will be, but something has changed, and I need to get away for a while. Maybe. But I keep remembering that this is home. I grew up here with my family. My peace, it's here. My memories of my grandma and my great-grandma, of us dancing and singing and watching Van Helsing countless times. But that was all in the past, and everyone and everything used to matter. It's gone. But in this desperation, in this loss, a goddess sort of appeared, and for some reason at that moment, I was drawn to it. I was intrigued, unknown of what this may hold, but she seemed kind and different. She took my hand and we walked, not too far, but far enough. Still unsure, but trusting. She felt almost like a mother figure. I didn't know what she had in store for me. Maybe I was totally losing my mind, but I was trusting of her. That's when she led me into this doorway. Not knowing where we were going, there was a sudden flash, a shock wave of light. It was different, and I didn't know where I was. It was this bright, bleached out scene. I guess you can say purity was an overarching theme. I was confused and kind of nervous. That's when I reached for my cigarettes and tried to relax and realized that they were replaced by these seeds, resembling sunflower seeds, but not quite. So I looked at it and realized, well, maybe I should eat it. And I did. I was then in this lab. Not a typical lab, but it seemed like a lab. There was smoke and a telescope, and there was this man there. He looked curious and invited my presence. He instructed me to come and look at through the telescope, look at the lights, look at the sky. I was confused, but I did it. But there was no sky and there was no stars. He insisted. He continued, "There's stars. There are stars." But once I rejected what he was saying, he changed. There was anger. He began to ramble and go on and on about the stars and that they are there and I can't see them. But I knew that he was just beginning to become more and more aggravated, and I needed to go. This was a mistake. So I began to start to reach for my sunseeds yet again, hoping to be able to eat another sunseed and be able to leave to a more happier place. I was now in a new location. This location was dark but whimsical, you can say. I took a seat, and next to me there was this creature that began to form. He wasn't intimidating, and he invited my presence. He encouraged me to light his candle. I guess he was fascinated with fire in some way, so I reached for my lighter and simply lit it. He instructed me then to pour him some drinks in his cups, but this liquid was no ordinary liquid. It was dark and it looked gross. I wasn't going to drink it. He instructed me to, but I said no. And once I did, this nice figure at first, it grew dark and bigger, and I was no longer comfortable and I wanted to leave. So I reached again for another sunseed and started to eat it and hoped to leave, to go back home. And then there was darkness. Surrounded by darkness, I didn't know where I was. This place was different and I didn't like being in it. I couldn't see anything and everything was tight. And I was ready to go home. There was figures running by me and I needed to look for the seeds, but I had lost them and it was time to leave. I ran towards the light, hoping to get out, and once I did, I was finally back home. And then it hit me. Maybe the seeds were more than just something to eat. Maybe they needed to take their time and grow. And I realized that there is no place like home, and Kansas is my home. And just like that seed, it was so much more.